I used to want accountability out loud. I used to value that, honestly, but now I value consistency in private. Welcome back to the House Cousins. My name is Alicia J, and I used to say this is the Sunday Reset podcast, but we're not doing that anymore, but we are keeping on a similar concept. This series is called Break Bread With Me. And tonight is Italian at my house, and before we get started, go ahead and grab your little plate. Because I know my food is good. You go with a little bit. But this isn't a tour of Italy, okay? This is just gonna be a taste. We're gonna be making homemade Italian sausage, red sauce with buttered penne noodles for me and my son tonight. And while I cook, I wanna talk to you guys about something that's been sitting on my heart for a few months. Because the last time we talked, it was definitely in March of 2025. And it's December now, rolling almost into 2026, which is freaking insane. But we're gonna talk about why I'm rebuilding my old routines and habits silently. And I don't need any witnesses anymore. I just need faith and results. Because God is all the witness I need, genuinely. Like, whether I'm starting back at 0 and working my way up to 85, or I'm starting at 90 and ready to cross over to 100% for my goal. I'm not doing this for applause. I'm not doing this for kudos. I'm not doing this for a pat on the back. I'm really not. I'm just doing this for God, like to please Him and to please myself and to make a way for my son, clear a pathway for my son, show my son what discipline looks like, what consistency looks like, what hard work and faith looks like when it's in action, and how important it is to stay true to yourself. I'm doing it to set an example for him so that he can set an example for his family when he grows up, whatever legacy he chooses to leave. I just want to be a part of that. And a part of that is making sure that I'm being consistent for myself. So before we get too deep, let's go ahead and talk ingredients. This will be the only part that I'm going to talk to you guys like real time, if you will. And then everything else will be a voiceover. It's mild because my son, he's young. He's like pre-K, kindergarten age. So he's young, and he doesn't like spicy food like when it's cooked, but he likes Takis and hot Cheetos and spicy pickles. It's really weird, but he won't eat it if it's like too spicy. Oh, and he loves hot wings, but he doesn't call them hot wings. He calls them spicy wings or something. Yeah, he does not call them hot wings. Or the chicken with the bones in them. But anyways, we're gonna also do a half an onion, about 4 or 5 garlic cloves. I normally do about a handful. We're gonna do about 1 carrot, but I have like a carrot. These are like 2 carrots, but they're like basically 1. So we're gonna do 1 carrot that's gonna be peeled and chopped. We're gonna do tomato paste, not the whole can. We'll probably do about half of that can. We'll do 1 can of tomatoes. I typically use peeled tomatoes, but today we're gonna use what we got. We're gonna use diced tomatoes, and then we are going to use some chicken broth. We have some basil here. We use about 3 or 4 leaves. I don't have it out right now, but I'm about to go grab it. We're gonna do bell pepper, because that's how you get your veggies in. A pinch of sugar, 1/4 cup of olive oil, 1/4 cup of that chicken broth, a little bit of onion powder, a little bit of garlic powder, salt and pepper to taste, a pinch of red pepper flakes, and a tablespoon of Italian seasoning. And then of course, can't forget the penne noodles, so we'll be using that. And then to top it off, we're gonna do Parmesan and mozzarella. So let's go ahead and get cooking. Oh yeah, did I say olive oil? Well, you'll need that.
Subscribe.
Okay. As this cooks, this is usually the part where I would explain everything I'm doing or tell people when I'm starting or announce what I'm committing to. But I've learned that some lessons and some seasons require less talking and more showing up. Quiet routines don't mean a lack of discipline, they mean deeper discipline. I don't need pressure, I just need presence. And right now, my routines look like simple meals and consistent mornings, and choosing peace over performance. God reminds me in Zechariah chapter 4, verse 10, "Do not despise these small beginnings, for the Lord rejoices to see the work begin." And what I take away from that is this: progress doesn't need a crowd, it just needs obedience. Your best wins, your best witness, your best cheerleader, your strongest supporter is God, and it comes from God. And He celebrates the work that you're doing even when it's small, even when no one sees it, and even when it feels ordinary. Because the work that you're doing here on earth is always serving the greater good of His will. And the last time I posted before now was back in March, and I kind of mentioned that at the beginning of the episode, but I mean, honestly, that wasn't really my best work, and I was literally just posting to post. And I realized, like, at that point, that there were things that I wanted to do that I simply just did not have the means or capacity for at the time. So I just stopped posting. And during those last few, several months, like, give or take 9 months at this point, I've really been focused on setting up systems and staying consistent inside of those systems. And the people who are closest to me have seen it working. I feel like I'm in a much better place than I was before, and I can demonstrate that progress and that growth through things that are tangible for me in relation to my goals, and things that are also mental for me too. I've been meeting goals that I set 1 year ago, 2 years ago. I had a vision board on my phone for the longest time, and a good 80% of those goals that I had on my vision board wallpaper are all checked off. And honestly, I'm really overwhelmed with happiness and pride and just gratefulness, because I genuinely don't think that any of this would have been possible without the strength, the love, the grace, the favor of God, my support system, and the fact that I finally learned how to hold myself accountable, and not just like, oh, I need to get this done today. No, it's like now or never, seriously. And when I make a mistake, when I fall, I understand the mistake. I take time to understand the mistake, and then I fix it. Like, it's really that simple. And at any moment, the climate can change, the environment can change, people can change, and that's why I practice my patterns and my accountability in private. Not because I have anything to prove, but because social media doesn't really honor the struggle. It doesn't always make real day-to-day life feel socially acceptable. And there was a time before all this commercialism, when people enjoyed people's presence, people upgraded their homes one piece at a time, when there wasn't a constant pressure to keep up. And sometimes that pressure, that desire to rush the process, can eat at you internally. And the desire to match a lifestyle that isn't really attainable right now, or the desire to mirror highlight reels online, that desire can eat at you as well. So I'm not saying don't dream. I'm not saying don't have goals or don't have vision. What I am saying is pause and build your routine and your new habits quietly. Keep your accountability within yourself, to yourself, for yourself, and build your consistency daily. Because if you get what you wanted, you weren't delusional, you're ambitious, and there's nothing wrong with that. This right here is a reward of consistency. Nothing fancy, nothing forced. Just showing up for my family, feeding my family, and honoring the work. And if you're rebuilding quietly too, then you're not behind, you're being intentional. You're glowing and you're growing always, and I love this look on you, cousins, and I'll see you next weekend at the house. Bye.